Amadeus conquered millions of viewers with its music, power, and the jealousy between Mozart and Salieri. But behind the spotlight, the cast went through tragedies few could have imagined: misfortunes, illnesses, broken marriages, and even death. Let's uncover the shocking and emotional behind-the-scenes stories of the Amadeus cast from 1984 to 2025. Roy Dotrice as Leopold Mozart. Roy Dotrice was born on May 26, 1923, in Guernsey, Channel Islands. When he was 61 years old, he played Leopold Mozart, the strict yet deeply loving father, in Amadeus, 1984. This role added emotional depth to the father-son relationship in the film and also marked Dotrice's breakthrough in Hollywood after many years dedicated to the theater. However, away from the stage, his marriage to Kay Newman, his wife since 1946, was filled with challenges. Dotrice's hot-tempered and argumentative nature often fractured the family, leaving lasting emotional scars on both his wife and children. Although they never divorced, their marriage was constantly tense, and he drowned his sorrow in alcohol to ease the pain. His later years were far from peaceful. Lingering effects from his time as a prisoner of war during World War II weakened his health, and he often fell ill. He faced a steady physical decline, with his final years overshadowed by illness and relentless fatigue. Roy Dotrice passed away on October 16, 2017, in London, at the age of 94. The cause of death was age-related illness, following a career that spanned more than 7 decades. At the time of his passing, his net worth was estimated at around $5 million, earned through his vast theatrical legacy, his one-man shows, and memorable supporting roles in Amadeus and Game of Thrones. F. Murray Abraham as Antonio Salieri. F. Murray. Abraham was born on October 24, 1939, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. At 45 years old, he played Antonio Salieri, the envious rival of the genius Mozart, in Amadeus, 1984. The role earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor, becoming both the peak and the turning point of his film career. Yet his personal life was not as bright as the stage lights. His first marriage to Kate Hannon ended in a painful divorce in 1973. Long-standing conflicts and deep disagreements caused him to lose his early life partner, leaving Abraham with emotional wounds that were difficult to heal. In later years, he also faced serious scandal. In 2023, he was accused by a younger actor of sexual misconduct. Although he vehemently denied the allegations, the case shook his career and reputation, becoming a major blow in the final chapter of his artistic journey. Today, Abraham is 85 years old and continues to act, but mostly took on supporting roles in series such as The White Lotus and Mythic Quest, while also teaching acting. His net worth was estimated at around $10 million, built from his Oscar win, television roles, and teaching work. Although scandal cast a shadow, he remained one of the veteran actors still standing strong in Hollywood. Charles Kay as Count Orsini Rosenberg. Charles Kay was born on August 31, 1930, in Coventry, West Midlands. When he was 54 years old, he appeared in Amadeus, 1984, as Count Orsini Rosenberg, a conservative figure symbolizing traditional power, constantly opposing Mozart's rebellion. Although the role did not bring him individual awards, it helped solidify his international reputation alongside his brilliant stage career with the Royal Shakespeare Company. Yet his married life was filled with sorrow. After 2 marriages, Kay was unable to maintain a lasting home. His second marriage collapsed under the pressure of his demanding workload and endless tours, which created distance within his family and left him feeling lonely even while standing in the spotlight. Even more painful were the long-term health struggles he faced in later life. Due to his relentless performance schedule, Kay often became exhausted and at times had to be hospitalized for fatigue and chronic arthritis. The constant pain made it difficult for him to stand on stage for long periods, forcing him to withdraw from major roles. The conflict between his passion for acting and a body in decline became a silent tragedy that haunted him until the end of his life. Charles Kay passed away on January 8, 2025 in Wimbledon, London, at the age of 94. The cause of death was old age and illness. His net worth was estimated at around $3 million, mostly from his stage career and film roles such as A Man for All Seasons. His passing marked the end of a classical acting journey, leaving behind an indelible legacy in the hearts of audiences. Tom Hulce, as Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Tom Hulce was born on December 6, 1953, in Detroit, Michigan. He starred in Amadeus, 1984, as Mozart, the eccentric, emotional musical genius when he was 31 years old. The role earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor, becoming a milestone that defined his career and lifted him into Hollywood stardom during the 1980s. But behind that success was a pain that could never be erased. Hulce had once dreamed of becoming an opera singer, but in 1975 he suffered a serious vocal injury that forced him to abandon that dream. The loss struck him like a direct blow, leaving him with lasting regret for giving up his first love, music, even as his film career soared to new heights. On top of that, coming out as gay at a time when Hollywood was still rife with prejudice brought him isolation. Hulce often sank into loneliness and, at times, depression after being rejected from many acting opportunities. Social ridicule and discrimination made the years following Amadeus heavy and difficult, leaving him with deep emotional scars. Now, Tom Hulce is 72 years old. He had largely stepped away from acting to focus on producing films and stage works with major successes such as The Cider House Rules. He lives quietly, maintaining a routine of jogging and actively supporting the LGBTQ+ community. Hulce's net worth is estimated at about $2.5 million, drawn mainly from award-winning film productions and the artistic legacy of decades of dedication. Kenneth McMillan as Michael Schlumberg. Kenneth McMillan was born on July 2, 1932, in Brooklyn, New York. He was 52 years old when he appeared in Amadeus, 1984, as Schlumberg, a supporting character who added weight to the atmosphere of power and heaviness in the Viennese court. Although the role did not earn him awards, it strengthened McMillan's image as a familiar face in colorful supporting roles. Yet his marriage was filled with turbulence. McMillan married Catherine MacDonald and had a daughter, but family life quickly eroded under the strain of his alcoholism. His wife had to carry the burden of raising their child while enduring her husband's unpredictable temper. The home became a place of constant tension, leaving McMillan with a deep, unshakable sense of guilt. Illness also dragged him into decline. Years of heavy drinking and smoking ravaged his liver, forcing him into repeated hospital stays in his final years. His fragile health slowed down his career, while his spirit crumbled as he gradually lost the ability to contribute to the art he loved. Kenneth McMillan died on January 8, 1989, in Santa Monica, California, at the age of 56, the cause being chronic liver disease. He left behind a net worth of around $1 million, earned mainly from film and stage roles. His early passing was not only a heartbreak for his family, but also a tragedy of talent destroyed by illness and self-destructive habits. Simon Callow as Emmanuel Schiavelli. Simon Callow was born on June 15, 1949, in Streatham, London. At the age of 35, he appeared in Amadeus, 1984, as Emmanuel Schiavelli, a light-hearted character who brought humor and balance to the otherwise somber tone of the film. While the role did not bring him major awards, it expanded his presence beyond the British stage and made him a recognizable face in cinema. But Callow's private life carried silent pain. In 1990, he lost his first love to AIDS, a devastating blow that left him in grief and loneliness for many years. The loss not only took away his partner, but also left him haunted by the fragility of life and love itself. Afterward, he struggled to regain emotional balance. Although his career continued to flourish, Callow endured long periods of depression and anxiety, often feeling abandoned. These hardships fueled his determination to become a strong LGBTQ+ activist, though they also revealed that his personal life was never truly free of sorrow. By 2025, Simon Callow is 76 years old and still remains active in acting, stage directing, and writing biographies, most notably his acclaimed series on Orson Welles. He lives with his partner Emmanuel Lebrecht, whom he married in 2016 after more than 3 decades together. Callow's net worth is estimated at around $8 million, earned through acting, directing, and book publishing. Vincent Schiavelli as Salieri's valet. Vincent Schiavelli was born on November 11, 1948 in Brooklyn, New York. When he was 36 years old, he played Salieri's valet in Amadeus, 1984. With his 6'5" frame and distinctive gaunt face, he created a unique supporting character that left a strong impression in the film. However, his marriages were far from smooth. Schiavelli went through 2 marriages, both of which ended in failure due to his constant filming schedule and isolated lifestyle. His first wife and son suffered from his frequent absences, while his second marriage quickly fractured under distance and his emotional instability. Illness also ravaged his life. A lifelong smoking habit combined with hereditary factors from his Sicilian family led him to develop terminal lung cancer. Even before his diagnosis, he endured lingering back injuries from a 1998 truck accident, which further weakened his health. In his final years, Schiavelli lived in solitude in Sicily, battling illness while distancing himself from Hollywood's spotlight. Vincent Schiavelli died on December 26, 2005, in Polizzi Generosa, Sicily, at the age of 57. The cause of death was lung cancer. He left behind an estimated net worth of $1.5 million, earned mainly from supporting film roles and Italian cookbooks he authored. His passing left a major void in the horror comedy genre, where he had been celebrated as the Gaunt King with a truly unique acting style. Christine Ebersole as Caterina Cavalieri. Christine Ebersole was born on February 21, 1953, in Chicago, Illinois. She was 31 years old when she portrayed Caterina Cavalieri, the lively and alluring soprano who brought fresh energy to Salieri's world of music in Amadeus, 1984. Although a supporting role, it helped Ebersole transition from jazz singing into film and became the stepping stone for her later Broadway success. Yet immediately after the spotlight, her personal life fell into crisis. In 1984, she divorced her first husband, actor Peter Bergman, only shortly after the film's release. The collapse of her marriage left deep emotional scars, forcing her to shoulder the responsibility of raising her child alone while struggling to keep her career afloat at a crucial turning point. The overlapping pressures left her exhausted many times, yet she continued to persevere on stage. The pain deepened years later when she suffered a stage accident in 2006 that caused a severe eye injury. For a long period, she lived in fear that she might never sing again. The possibility of losing her voice, the very gift that sustained her and built her name, pushed Ebersole into a period of intense stress and anxiety. Still, she returned stronger, proving the steel resilience of an artist. By 2025, Christine Ebersole is 72 years old and continues to shine on Broadway, with 2 Tony Awards for Grey Gardens and War Paint. She now lives happily with her second husband, Bill Maloney, and their adopted children. Her net worth is estimated at around $5 million, drawn mainly from Broadway musicals and television roles such as 30 Rock. Ebersole's journey stands as a testament to the strength of a woman who overcame marital heartbreak and the fear of illness to secure her brilliant place in the arts. Jeffrey Jones as Emperor Joseph II. Jeffrey Jones was born on September 28, 1946, in Buffalo, New York. At 38 years old, he appeared in Amadeus, 1984, as Emperor Joseph II, a character both authoritative and witty who played a key role in the film. This performance brought Jones international recognition and opened the door to major roles in hit films such as Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Beetlejuice. Yet his personal life was filled with turbulence. Jones never married and had only one son with his former girlfriend Loy Coutts, but the relationship quickly broke apart due to his temper and irresponsible lifestyle. Loneliness in his private life gradually pushed Jones toward alcohol and reckless behavior, self-destructive habits he struggled to escape. The greatest blow of his life came in 2002 when Jones was arrested on serious sexual offense charges. The scandal completely destroyed his career, leaving him ostracized by the public and sinking him into a spiral of chronic depression. From a beloved actor, he became an outcast, unable to return to stage or screen, living quietly in the shadows of the fame he once possessed. Today, Jeffrey Jones is 79 years old. He lives reclusively in California, virtually inactive in the arts, with a net worth of only around $2 million, what remained after years of lawsuits, penalties, and the collapse of his career. His life story stands as one of Hollywood's bitter tragedies. From a bright talent to a man who lost everything to mistakes and the downfall of both personal and professional life. Elizabeth Berridge as Constanze Mozart. Elizabeth Berridge was born on May 2, 1962, in New Rochelle, New York. When she was just 22 years old, she played Constanze Mozart, the youthful, loyal, and resilient wife of Mozart in Amadeus, 1984. The role transformed the little-known actress into an international face, remembered for her performance that captured innocence and strength, highlighting the emotional bond with the musical genius. But beyond the cinematic spotlight, Berridge faced a life-altering shock. In 1995, she was diagnosed with breast cancer at the height of her youth. The long process of chemotherapy left scars not only on her body but also on her soul, pushing her into repeated emotional crises as she feared losing both her health and her career. Her loneliness during those years of illness was finally eased when she met and married actor Kevin Corrigan in 2001. The marriage brought stability, but the shadow of cancer never fully disappeared, forcing Berridge to live cautiously and with constant anxiety about the future. By 2025, Elizabeth Berridge is 63 years old. She continues to appear in some independent film projects while devoting much of her time to her family and her son. Her net worth is estimated at around $2 million, largely from Amadeus and television roles. Berridge's journey stands as a testament to a woman's resilience, from a young star struck by illness to a grounded mother who found comfort in family. Kenny Baker as Parody Commendatore. Kenny Baker was born on August 24, 1934, in Birmingham. At the age of 50, he appeared as the Parody Commendatore, a brief role, yet one that made a strong impression thanks to his distinctive appearance and subtle performance in Amadeus, 1984. Though it was only a fleeting moment on screen, the role reinforced Baker's image as a small-statured artist with great impact, following his worldwide success as R2-D2 in Star Wars. But his marriage and health faced many trials. Baker married actress Eileen Baker, and the two remained together from 1970 until her passing in 1993. The loss of his beloved wife left him with unhealed grief, turning the later part of his life into a lonely journey filled with sorrow. On top of that, chronic lung disease weakened him for many years. His mobility was restricted, and at times he was unable to attend major Star Wars events in the U.S. due to poor health. Persistent shortness of breath and fatigue became his daily torment, forcing him into a more private life in his final years. Kenny Baker died on August 13, 2016, in Lancashire, at the age of 81, after a long battle with lung disease. His net worth was estimated at around $2 million, primarily from the Star Wars franchise. His passing marked a great loss for the film world, closing the life chapter of an artist who overcame disability to become a true cultural icon. Cynthia Nixon as Laurel. Cynthia Nixon was born on April 9, 1966, in New York City. She was just 18 years old when she played Laurel, the young maid who left an impression through her charm and natural presence in Amadeus, 1984. Though a small role, it became a pivotal milestone that launched Nixon into a long acting career, later tied to her iconic role in Sex and the City. But her life was not only filled with fame. Nixon endured a difficult marriage with her first partner, educator Danny Moses. After years together and 2 children, their relationship ended, leaving her emotionally wounded. As a single mother, she shouldered family responsibilities while facing the relentless demands of her career, a period marked by stress and loneliness. In 2006, she faced another tragedy, a breast cancer diagnosis. At first, Nixon kept it secret, fearing it might harm her career, but months of chemotherapy drained her physically and emotionally. After surviving, she chose to go public, turning the painful experience into motivation to become a strong advocate for women and cancer patients. Now, Cynthia Nixon is 59 years old and still acts in select projects while dedicating much of her time to political and social activism, living happily with her wife Christine Marinoni and their 3 children. Her net worth is estimated at around $20 million, mainly from Sex and the City and other television projects. Nixon's journey stands as proof of resilience, from a young actress in a supporting role to a cultural icon and powerful political voice. Douglas Seale as Count Arco. Douglas Seale was born on October 28, 1913, in London. In Amadeus, 1984, he played Count Arco, a brief supporting role that radiated authority and added depth to the Viennese court world when he was 71 years old. Although he did not win awards, the role helped Seale cement his image as a veteran British actor who successfully transitioned into American film. But in his private life, he endured wounds that never fully healed. His first 2 marriages ended in conflict, leaving him to raise a child alone during one of the most challenging stages of his career. It wasn't until his 3rd marriage, to actress Louise Troy, that he finally found peace. Yet the happiness was short-lived, as she passed away from breast cancer in 1994. The loss devastated Seale, leaving him with loneliness and grief that followed him until the end of his life. Alongside heartbreak, his health steadily declined. He suffered from severe heart disease and underwent surgery, but the procedure was unsuccessful, leading to complications and acute pneumonia. In his final years, he withdrew from the stage, living quietly as his body weakened and his strength faded. Douglas Seale passed away on June 13, 1999, in New York City, at the age of 85. His net worth at the time was estimated at around $1.5 million, mostly from his stage career in England and later roles in Hollywood. His passing closed the chapter of a seasoned actor's life, one marked by both artistic achievement and the tragedies of family loss and old age illness. Philip Lenkowsky as Salieri's servant. Philip Lenkowsky was born in 1952 in New York City. At 32 years old, he played Salieri's humble servant in Amadeus, 1984, a minor role, yet one that reflected the daily life surrounding Salieri and added texture to the story. The role allowed Lenkowsky to expand his acting experience from stage to film, showcasing his adaptability in diverse supporting parts. Although his acting career remained steady, Lenkowsky lived a simple personal life that was not free of pressure. He remained unmarried and childless, which at times left him feeling lonely and burdened with the weight of handling everything in life on his own. Maintaining his performance level across numerous stage productions and small films brought long-term stress. He often sacrificed personal time, facing the demands of his profession and the expectations of colleagues. This pressure sometimes exhausted him, but it also honed his patience and resilience. By 2025, Philip Lenkowsky is 73 years old. He continues acting in stage productions and independent films, living modestly in Warsaw, Poland. His net worth is estimated at about $1 million, largely from theater work, supporting film roles and international projects. His story reflects the journey of an actor who grew from street performances into a steady and mature artistic career. Rodrik Cook as Count von Strack. Rodrik Cook was born on February 19, 1924, in London, England. When he was 60 years old, he appeared in Amadeus, 1984, as Count von Strack, the trusted advisor to Emperor Joseph II. Present in many key court scenes, he helped shape the atmosphere of power and intrigue surrounding Mozart and Salieri, adding political depth to the film. This role reinforced Cook's reputation for refined supporting performances on Broadway and in American television. However, his personal life was marked by painful struggles. He married twice, but both unions faced turmoil. His first marriage to actress Ann Kidder ended in 1960, strained by the challenges of emigrating and a serious car accident that left him with lasting injuries. He was left with a daughter and a lingering sense of failure. His second marriage, to stage producer Susan Cook, also endured tension due to relentless schedules that strained their relationship. Cook's health was another heavy burden. After his 1955 car accident, he suffered spinal injuries and long relied on pain medication, which led to depression and self-isolation. These hardships haunted him for years, deeply affecting both his spirit and creativity. Still, he persevered in his work as both an actor and a stage director. Rodrik Cook died on October 13, 1990, in New York City at the age of 66 from a sudden heart attack. He left behind an estimated net worth of $2 million, primarily from his Anglo-American stage career, supporting roles in Amadeus and various television series, along with real estate in New York. His passing closed the chapter of an artist who strove to overcome setbacks, broken marriages, and illness, leaving a refined mark on both stage and screen. Brian Pettifer as hospital attendant. Brian Pettifer was born on January 1, 1953, in Durban, South Africa. At 31 years old, he played the calm and steady hospital attendant in Amadeus, 1984, bringing rhythm to the hospital scenes and adding depth to the Viennese court setting. The role helped Pettifer advance his career in British television and international theater. His life, however, was not free of hardship. He married Claire Brady in 1977, but their relationship carried strain from work pressures and personal differences. The long-standing conflicts forced Pettifer to work hard to balance his acting career with family responsibilities, leaving him at times feeling lonely even within his own home. On top of that, painful memories from his childhood stayed with him. Moving from South Africa to Scotland at the age of 8, he experienced racial prejudice, which left long-lasting emotional scars. This struggle pushed him to constantly fight for stability in life while pursuing his passion for acting. By 2025, Brian Pettifer is 72 years old and continues acting in British television and on stage, building a career with international breadth. His net worth was estimated at around $1 million, earned mostly from long-term stage and television roles. Pettifer's story stands as proof of perseverance, overcoming prejudice, family struggles, and professional pressures to remain devoted to his craft. The tragedies, struggles, and dramatic transformations of the Amadeus cast are nothing short of surprising. Which story left the strongest impression on you? And who do you feel the deepest sympathy for? Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss more shocking and emotional behind-the-scenes stories like this.